Yeah, welcome to this video. I'm doing a Blitz Kibitzing video and Kibitzing Nakamura. Playing here with white in the 3-minute pool on ICC against Yakov, and he's a pretty strong Blitz player from the US. Let me check quickly the name, I keep forgetting it. Yeah, Yakov Norowitz. He's got 2,600 USCF rating, so national US rating. That's about good IM, I guess. Yeah, okay, so I have a look at the game. We've got a pretty strange Caro-Kann here, where Nakamura played some setup with G3, and it looks very much like in advanced Caro-Kann, where white's pieces are positioned in a somewhat strange manner. Now knight b3 is threatened, winning material. So yeah, rook to a2 looks kind of funny, but maybe knight c1 is one idea. But knight c1, you need to be careful with bishop to b1. Probably. So white is a bit uncomfortable, but the position is very close. You've got this bad rook, but probably you will find some way to get rid of the knight on b3. Yeah, black investing some time and now going for b5. Knight e3, yeah, this one needs to retreat. And now white probably will get the bishop, which is one feature of this advanced Caro-Kann, that white often will be able to get the bishop pair. Take the light squared bishop for a knight. Yeah, still, if you exchange the knight here on g6, you still have this b3 knight issue. You cannot play the whole game without your rook here. Yeah, h5 is probably... Wow, I don't really think this was a great solution. It's a funny idea, but still. Interesting. Maybe on d5, maybe you can sacrifice now on d5. The fun thing, this knight is hindering the rook, but the knight on b3 also has no square. I mean, it can go to d2, but this is weird. Okay, white has some attacking ideas on knight h5, or maybe he can sacrifice on e6 or d5. Also with the knight on e3, like knight to d5 takes. Okay, white just retreats. Yeah, well, h5 is also a solid kind of attacking idea without sacrificing material immediately. But maybe there was something more powerful, but okay, it's a 3-minute game, so cannot spend so much time. Okay. Yeah, white has a very attractive looking position with the knights on g4 and g5. But what exactly are those pieces doing? At the moment, there's no threat of a piece sacrifice. What white can try to do is to regroup and move the g4 knight and play g4 f5. This is the only way to make any progress here, I think. Or maybe knight e3 and then sacrifice on d5. This would be, yeah, bishop takes d5, something like this. Don't think it would work. Okay, this one maybe. Now f7 is a problem and c4 is a problem. And the rook is saying, okay, this is quite a lot, so maybe this was simply good for white. Not sure if you want to take the rook now. It looks attractive, getting the exchange, but it's not entirely clear. Oh, check. So white opened up the position, and what is this now? 6 pawns against 3 pawns. So yeah, white has a pretty big material advantage. and he's got better pieces. Queen a7, I thought. But, okay. Yeah, this looks very promising for white. It's probably winning, but the time is an issue. Nakamura is rather slow in this game.
Check.
At the moment, maybe he's got some connection issue. Check. This is possible.
Check.
Okay, this is a draw now, I think. Check. Perpetual. But Nakamura is simply too slow. My assumption is that he's suffering. Yeah, that he was suffering. I've got instantly a new game from maybe a bad connection. He's got the Italian flag here, so maybe there's some kind of hotel room connection in Italy or something. Just speculation. Maybe he's out there for a tournament or preparing there for something. I don't know, but usually he is much quicker, of course. Okay, next game. I think he was pretty much winning in the game from positional point of view. Okay, this game. He's black now with 5-minute game. Maybe it's better if he's got connection issues. Then a little bit more time is helpful. And he's playing the Grunfeld here against the Russian Grandmaster Fedoseev, a very young player. This 95 is actually the year which was born, so turning 18 this year. Quite a promising player. And 2697 is a very high Blitz rating, of course, in the ICC 5-minute pool. Very few players get above 2600. Okay, the opening was, as mentioned, a Grunfeld, but it has now transposed into some strange mixture of the Grunfeld and the Slav. Quite often you get this kind of positions from a Slav, but there the black setup is actually the same as in this position, but often white's bishop is on c1 or d2, so not on h2. So in comparison, this should be much more promising for white than the typical kind of Slav position. We see that white has played then early b4, b5 and made quite some progress on the queen side, while black is hard pressed to find any concrete play. He's tried f5 and put the knight on e4, but this is again losing quite some time. Yeah, now knight e5 by white after the recapture, and this is really an annoying position. c6 is a weakness, and wow. Yeah, taking on e5 is not the kind of move you like to play. Yeah, white should have a very, very large advantage here. I think okay, it's a Blitz game, but I guess in a tournament game, long time control game, white should win now. This is a very huge strategical edge with the two bishops and all those weak squares. The dark squares in black's camp are terrible. Yeah, white can improve the position without, something like this, rook b3 now, or something like this, rook b2, doubling up possibly on the b file, And one way to continue would be to move the queen from a3, try to use the a pawn, like queen c3 at some point. Or you can just exchange now if you want. Now this is also good, of course. Entering the 7th rank, and what exactly is black doing? Here even bishop takes d5 can be a problematic move for black. and white then doubling on the 7th, like bishop takes d5 and rook to c7. Could be a good continuation. Probably not the best continuation, but certainly one that that is good for white. Okay, he maybe he triples up on the b file. Not sure that this was so great. Getting the rook to a3 should still be very good for white, but okay, now he's changing to this plan I suggested before, taking on d5 and now trying to play on the 7th. Right now, of course, he just attacks a4, and this is a threat. Just taking this, it's difficult to prevent. I mean, black can try to drum up some kind of counterplay, but you just take on g4 now and take a4. Yeah, this is also good, probably. No. Queen takes h4, you can just take d7, this is hanging. And here just, my rook c7, there's rook takes e5. Yeah, it's an invasion of white's pieces. Queen a5. Yeah, if everything else fails, you can take this and take h5. Yeah, it's a huge advantage for white, but it feels like maybe he even had something better before. Yeah, there's some international master Kibitzing. Big edge for black. I think this must be a joke comment, as black is really busted. He cannot move basically. The only slight issue is this rook on a3, which is yeah, not very mobile at the moment, but it's attacking the a4 pawn, and black needs to keep this pawn, so always needs to take to have a rook on a5 or somewhere to cover this, and black simply has no move. Yeah, he decided to okay, this is a funny idea, trying to get some pass pawn, but white just ignores it. Taking on f4 then d4 maybe was the idea. White just, as mentioned, ignores this and plays it as simple as possible. Yeah, there's really no counterplay.
Black resigns.
Yeah, it was simply, I think, a pretty bad position from the opening. This kind of setup should be really favorable for white. Some big space advantage, and I think white did a pretty good job of dismantling black's play here. Didn't look like he had any kind of active play. Okay, this is, of course, if you need to do this, then you're in big trouble, as now white's pieces dominate completely, and black's pieces b6 on bishop on c8 coming to a6 is just terrible. Alright, so not quite sure what Nakamura is doing. Maybe he's has he left even? It's possible. He's certainly not very amused about those two losses. Can be pretty sure about this. Yeah, okay, he has disconnected. So it's a 15-minute video with just 2 games. Let's try to find some other interesting games if possible, to maybe get a somewhat longer video. with more content, but it doesn't look like there's so much going on. Okay, we can the guy who just beat Nakamura, this Fedoseev guy, he's playing here with black, a King's Indian, against a player here, I think this is the Netherlands, right? A Dutch player, no name in there, so don't know who that is really. And yeah, it's a King's Indian where white has played without c4 but with a quick b3. This is an interesting setup, this double Fianchetto. And Fedoseev here played with c5, attacking the d4 pawn immediately. Okay. Yeah, c takes d4 would have been the most common move, but he decides to put some pressure on the d4 pawn. This is actually the problem with this approach. You don't really have enough pressure on the d pawn, and this now should be quite comfortable for white, simply because yeah, exactly like this, because the b7 bishop is a bad piece, and black's pieces are standing on each other's toes. The d7 knight and the e5 knight are a particular problem. You simply have one knight, yeah, one knight too much, so to say. With one knight, it would have been okay, but those two knights simply don't have enough space. This is why knight e1 was a good move. If f4 was a good move, I would doubt. This could be premature. Could be. Yeah, one problem is if you would go, let's say, queen e2, then knight takes e3. This is why he needed to play knight c2. Yeah, white still should be good here. You can prepare the move e4 with queen to d3 or queen to e2, something like this. And if white would be able to play e4 and open up the e-file, then the e6 square and the e7 pawn would be terribly weak. Yeah, he tries to prepare e5 or e6, and yeah, I think maybe it would have been better for white if he would have waited a bit with this f4 move. It's not bad strategically, but I'm not quite sure about the timing. Maybe it would have been better to prepare this better. This now looks fine for black. He managed to get rid of the e-pawn, and at the end there's the question about the e-pawn. What is this pawn doing on e3? And yeah, this is yeah, bishop a6 is one idea, and this is also a problem. But maybe now e5. Yeah, white should try e5 if possible. e5, knight takes d5. It's difficult. Yeah, this now should be okay again. The problem is those weak pawns, and bishop a6 d5 is a weakness. But this is very simple, just picking up the exchange. And if you lose one exchange, then probably you also lose control of the e-file with the rook on e7 already. Now, yeah, maybe just queen somewhere a6 or queen h3 check, or queen whatever, d7 and rook e8 or e8. Yeah, got a big choice. Yeah, rook takes e4 and resigns. g5, you can just take f4 if you want, or take e1 and cover the knight.
Check.
Yeah, and now queen somewhere, f7. Yeah, I think the black player here really played a bad opening, but white didn't really punish it. Yeah, this is just an extra rook, or an extra exchange if white takes, but the position completely falls apart.
White resigns.
Here Here maybe f4 is a bit premature. Maybe prepare this. In the game after f4, knight to g4 and f6, these two knights somehow coordinated, but maybe you should play a move like h3 or queen e2 first and then prepare all this. And then it's really questionable. There's this black position with the weird bishop on b7 and those weaknesses. So this was maybe a chance to get some good advantage in the opening. Nakamura actually locked on again, but probably not sure if he will play. Or maybe he did change something in his connection setup. This is possible. He really was quite slow for his standard. Yeah, I keep checking if any games are on here. Oh yeah, another game by this guy, and he's playing some player from the US. This I don't know this guy. Intuitive. About we've got Nakamura again. Actually, also not bad at all. Okay, so a French defense with the d3 against Big L. There's no name in there. But Big L is a player who's on ICC for ages. Okay, so sort of King's Indian attack with a somewhat weird white setup with b3. Yeah, a very close position with all bishops here fianchettoed. Now white prepares the move on f4. Yeah, big tension now in the center. Those e and f pawns are standing in front of each other, so there are multiple captures possible. Quite often it is a good idea to keep the tension, as the side who actually moves first is at a disadvantage. Okay, this is a very general observation, so it doesn't apply so often, of course, not all the time, but it's quite common that you shouldn't release the tension. In this case, however, we see that Nakamura maybe has the idea as black here to play knight to f5 and knight to e3. Maybe not immediately, but in general using the e3 square. Okay, and white here goes with plays with b4, sacrificing a pawn. I'm not quite sure what the compensation for this is supposed to be. Maybe he has the idea to play b5 and then get back the d4 pawn. Yeah, and then bishop g2 now with the idea of b5. This could be quite okay for white. Yeah, now b5, exchange on b7 and take d4. Maybe this is about a level endgame. Yeah, I don't think that white has any problems. I can just take and king up. Yeah, now knight d2. Yeah, d4 was really a bad move. Knight d2 just blundered the c4 pawn. If white plays king f4 or king e3 or something, then he's probably somewhat better even. And this just cost a couple of pawns. Maybe you still have drawing chances. You can play king to c6. And now knight b4 maybe. Covering d5 and then taking on c7. I cannot really calculate this till the end, but some chances for white to hold. Yeah, what is black doing now? Difficult. Yeah, not sure. Oh, 1-0. Why that? I don't really understand. Did he resign or what? Yeah, sometimes Nakamura's actions are really hard to comprehend. For some reason, he just resigned this game, which is of course weird. It was impossible to lose. Maybe it was a draw. It's possible, but it wasn't. It wasn't in any way dangerous for him. Yeah, well, this looks like a terrible position for black. White has got a huge advantage in space here on the king side and is near an opening of the H file already with the big attack to come. We can castle quickly on the long side, just f4 now maybe. Yeah, this is a funny position. Black has no space at all. Yeah, he gets the e5 square now for the knight, which is some compensation for the lack of space. But what is the knight on e8 doing ever in this game? It's got no square. He can go to c7 at some point, but white has such a huge space advantage. He just needs to play actually knight d4 f3. Okay. Or knight d2 to f3. Just exchange this this knight. Okay, he plays it in a more tactical fashion. In this position, you need to get, if you get rid of this this knight. Oh, this is also neat. He takes rook d to d7 and h7 is checkmate, so black loses the house. This was nice. If this was too quick, just step a few seconds back in the video and look at the final position. He resigned it a bit quickly. It was really lost, but if you didn't see really what was going on, just go back a couple of seconds and have a longer look. Okay, Sicilian here with bishop b5, the Rossolimo, one of the lines where white takes on c6. I always had a hard time to understand these positions. I mean, for both sides, I always had problems to figure out what was going on. Yeah, c3 looks like a very weird move. I mean, okay, I understand d4, yeah, but what about d5 now? Maybe what is white doing after d5? This also looks good. Need to probably play c4 now. Okay, well, I don't think he minds taking the exchange. Yeah, or this one. Oh, this is even stronger. Damaging white's structure, taking on f3, and this is just lost. f5 was winning instead of this. f5, queen g5. I mean, this is also winning. f5 is probably just deadly. But he could have played f5 one move earlier. I think he will do now. No, white resigned. No, just f5 and it's mate. Yeah, this was quite a bad game for Naka's opponent here. So what was this? Some weird d4 c5 d takes c4. Interesting. Yeah, it looks a bit like black is just a pawn down. But maybe yeah, white can take on b6. Bishop takes b4 check. You just step to f2. And white is a pawn up. Maybe queen e5 was an idea. I'm not sure. Yeah, knight c4 to d6 maybe. But then d5. Yeah, knight c4 you can play d5. Yeah, very unclear position really. Those two pawns look very very dangerous. But white's king is a problem, and you don't really have a good development. Yeah. He's opening up the position. Knight d5 coming. Yeah, I think black has a substantial advantage now. Knight d5. Yeah, still knight d5. Just intending to take e3, and what is white doing? Yeah, threatening mate. But what if you take e3 anyway? It is no mate, yeah? Not threatening mate. Knight takes e3, queen h7, king f8. Yeah, the bluff worked. It was just a bluff. He could take e3. But oh, this also looks weird. Queen a7. Knight to f5. Yeah, white's king position looks really terrible, but sometimes it's just dodging bullets, and at the end there is no mate. Knight f5 maybe, or queen a7, something like this. Yeah, white probably has g3. Let's say queen e3 check, just g3. Yeah, I don't see a win. It looks very dangerous for white, but queen e3 or something. Yeah, white is a pawn up, and if he is not mated, then he's probably just fine. Black can just take this rook, and he didn't take the rook. This was lucky. Bishop takes a3 was just possible. Maybe Naka wanted to play rook a2. I'm not sure. Yeah, black doesn't have a bad position. I mean, you're the exchange, you're pawn down, but it's not a big issue. All pieces are fine, black side, and white's king position is still a bit insecure. It's not like white is getting mated quickly, but you don't have a really secure position for the king. If you go king to g2, then you're in the long diagonal. G5. He tries to open up. Maybe this was a really good move. Take f4 now. Maybe just take f4. Yeah, black's position is not the problem, but the clock time. It's got 12 seconds and going down. Yeah, well, maybe white can play something like this. But rook takes g5. This looks very strong. queen to d8 is possible. Queen h6. Yeah, well, black lost some time. And, yeah, black could win more than once, but it's 3-minute chess, and if the opponent is playing so quickly, it's difficult. I mean, I played Naka also a number of times, and I had my share of winning positions, but actually winning them in this time is really difficult. Okay, so entertaining games. What is going on? I don't mind to do one or two more games, but I'm not sure that they play. Okay, I just recognize that there's also Grandmaster Seirawan playing. He's playing a 3-minute game against a German international master, and we're already near the end of the game. Clock's down. Some Nimzo complex position where white just grabbed this e4 pawn. I think he will take e4 now, and white is pawn up. Queen takes e4 now, and maybe black can take c3. Okay. Yeah, it looks somewhat better for white, I think, with the good bishop on e4. But black has still very decent pieces. Black is not in a passive position. Okay, now he just gave away a piece.
Checkmate.
And now it's checkmate. What a finish! Very weird finish. White suddenly getting checkmated here. What happened? King h8 he took, and then yeah, just queen takes. I mean, okay, you return the piece on h7, but this was too simple. Okay, so one more game here by Yasser. He's not blundering into mates often, really. Okay, we had Caro-Kann here with Panov. Black playing against the isolated pawn. And here actually black can play knight takes c3, b takes c3, and knight takes d4, but he decided on something else. Now attacking the d4 pawn. And let's see, castles. Yeah, black sometimes can take d4, but it's a quite risky business. Okay, now black can never take, as bishop takes h7 at the end is a problem. Yeah, white has the typical kind of fluent piece play for the isolated queen's pawn, and black must try to make use of structural advantages like the isolated pawn or the hanging pawns, which can be a weakness, but frankly speaking, I'm not quite sure if black will manage to get any meaningful play against those pawns. White is quite quick here. He also, black, I mean, has played h6, which can be a big problem. Yeah, exactly. And now queen to h3. Bishop takes h6 coming. All this move is also interesting. Bishop takes h6, threatening here. Maybe queen h4. But okay, then bishop b7. But white could even reply f3. It's no big deal at all. Yeah, knight h4 looks, queen to h4 looks really strong, threatening bishop takes h6. Bishop b7 f3. What is black doing then? Bishop takes h6 is such a strong threat. I don't really see a move. Maybe you need to return to g8 with a knight or something. Alright, okay, this is also interesting, of course. Yeah, if black must take. Everything else is so passive. And now queen somewhere, yeah. b2. You cannot play queen d6 because of knight takes f7. And yeah, probably he needs to go, yeah, into white's camp, into the lion's mouth, grabbing all kinds of material. This is not unusual for Yasser. He likes to grab all kinds of material and try to get away with it. Okay, white has sacrificed a piece and now attacks the f6 knight and the a8 rook. So the double attack, weird one. Not sure what white is doing. I think he needs to attend to the king side. He cannot move the rook, for example, or play bishop a6, because queen takes f6 wins h6, and also probably will need to checkmate. So black probably loses the rook in the corner. Yeah, something like this. And now queen takes a8, but this means white is an exchange up and still has an attack. Yeah, white simply maintains his very active position. Now threatening knight g6. And yeah, quite an obvious threat, but yeah, I was just about to suggest this. Need to use the rook on the third rank. Yeah, black still has some most weaknesses covered, so it doesn't look like a very quick mate, but you can improve the position at will. Yeah, this looks good for white. Getting rid of the dangerous pawn, the a-pawn. It was quite, yeah, maybe the only slight hope for counterplay. And black is down to now 6-5, 4 seconds. Will probably lose on time. This looked like a pretty good game by white, I would say. He really did a good job outplaying Seirawan. Yeah, now he's just playing nonsense move, but winning on time. Black now has a rook up or something, but he knew he would want to win on time. Sometimes you don't really pay so much attention. If you know that you win on time, then you sometimes play a careless move and spoil the actual position, knowing that you will win for sure by the clock. Yeah, Nakamura is not playing. I wouldn't mind, of course, to have a look at one more of his games, but he's not playing. We have Grandmaster Dreyev also on, but he's usually playing 1 minute. Yeah, he's playing 1 minute. So this is difficult to keep it to put it mildly. Yeah, there's no game going on by the Grandmasters in 3 or 5 minute chess. Alright, this video is okay, last game. One game. Now the final game has started. I was about to wrap up this video, but let's do this video.
Check.
Yeah, the G takes f6 variation, the Bronstein-Larsen line. I produced a video on this in German language for ICC. If you understand some German, then I can recommend this video to you. It's accessible via the ICC webpage, chessclub.com, and then click on videos and select German as a language. Then you get some videos in German language by me on openings. There are 3 videos already on, and there's more to come. All right, so this is already a very good position for black. White has quite some, yeah, some strange setup, but okay, it is still solid by white. It's very unambitious but solid. Yeah, this was knight b6 was a good move, an interesting move, allowing this change of the pawn structure, and white actually went for this, took on b5, which I think is a positional error, and pretty serious one actually. Here white has got problems with his pawns. They are all on dark squares, and white's bishop is also a dark squared bishop on c1, while black's bishop on f8 is not hindered by his pawns. He can play just for example a6 and f5, and then you've got all pawns on light squares, and your bishop is the good one. Not necessarily you want to play those moves. I'm just mentioning it. Especially f5 I would be cautious with, as f5 also weakens the e5 square. But black can easily improve the position. Rook c8, rook c6, and so on, and try to improve. This was good. White prepared to exchange the bad bishop. This is of course helpful, but this setup with the b5 also allowed this knight to get to a good square on d5. And now it is replaced by the king, who's got a good square on d5. But the worst is over for white with his bishop exchange. If this was something that black couldn't prevent, exchanging this bishop on c1, then I overestimated black's chances. I thought that black was already much better, but this probably wasn't so awful. And now white played d5, which is a strong move. If black now takes on d5, then white can play against the d5 pawn with rook d1. And what is black supposed to do? Rook c5 is answered by b4, and you just lose. And after e takes d5, also f5 is gone. So very annoying position. Yeah, maybe rook e1 was better instead of rook d1. Also here, rook d2 e1 could be good, getting white into some sort of pin. Yeah, maybe rook ed8 or cd8. Yeah, well, I'll still be frank here and predict the black win. This is just slightly better for white, but Seirawan probably is by far the better endgame player. He's really a great endgame player. So let's see what happens. Now the rook on d6 just covers this weakness. Okay. If white just stays now, rook e2 to f2 and all the way back, then it's difficult for black to do anything. But it's just equal now, I think. It looks like white has got some activity, but there's really not much.
Check. Check.
This could be a problem for black. He's got the worst pawn structure, but he's got always this b6 as a reserve move. King e6 should be a draw. Yeah, now just king back and it's a draw. Difficult to see someone losing this. Now we have positioned 2 times. Yeah, king e3 draw. Not much that you can do. Oh, king d4, but it's still a draw. It's still a draw. Oh, something is happening. I'm not sure that this was such a great idea. For white, I mean white didn't make any progress. Okay, we have some action. It's probably Still a draw. They both get the queen.
Check. Check.
Yeah, Yasser's time is the problem. So down to a couple of seconds.
Check.
And really not very fast.
Check. Check.
Yeah, probably he lose on time.
Check.
Could have taken the queen, but
Check.
yeah, the typical nonsense at the end. White even blundering the queen a couple of times, but the time is the problem. Yeah, it's a shame that there's not more of 3 minute and 2 seconds increment. It's just avoiding those kind of strange ends to game. Yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this kibitzing of Nakamura, Fedoseev, and at the end here Grandmaster Seirawan. Thanks for watching. I'll be back soon.